into this discussion. And I guess if my table is any indication of the students in this room right now, this is a really impressive group. And I think this class is a great class just because you all get to learn from each other, from different majors, and learn about the place, I guess, where you're actually being educated. That it's not just just a university on its own; it's a community that you're in, and the fact that you could come up to a place like Binghamton, where you're on a campus, you're in a campus environment, but you're part of like a small town at the same time, and realizing that there's a lot to do there, that there is a real importance between the university and the community, and just seeing both the university grow and the community around it. They both have a really strong symbiotic relationship. If you want one to grow, the other one has to be strong as well. I guess I kind of wanted to start off, and I had to go back and take a look at the BC plan again. Just I think the last time I actually reviewed it was when I was a student, and kind of just go over how CIC was started. We started back in a fall 2003 class that Professor Cruz was teaching on organizational leadership. In that class, we had local officials that were associated with the BC plan come to class, talk about the local economy, about plans for economic growth, and how they plan to enact these recommendations that were set forth by these consultants that were hired to write this BC plan. The BC plan was published in August 2002. And it was pretty much a roadmap for sustainable economic development in Broome County, in the region. And one of the main issues that was identified in the plan that was really hindering economic growth in the region. And I'm going to quote this exactly from the BC plan because you don't want to, just be a student quoting, I guess, the university's involvement in economic development in the region. So I'm actually going to quote the plan itself. And it said that Broome County's public sector leaders and Binghamton University have tended to maintain their own paths with little ongoing cooperation on economic development issues. And the solution that was provided in the plan was that BU and local economic developers should work together to solve joint concerns. Those concerns being housing, incubators, marketing, internship programs. And it called for involving the university in economic development marketing and in the growth of the region. And one of the questions that I guess we all started asking to the panel was, all right, what's been done so far, how it's been started, and they talked about the whole plan. This is just one focus set. I guess it sparked the students' interest, and the panel pretty much said, we're looking for ideas. We would like to do something. Why don't you guys do something about it? And we actually did, and we came together, and it started out, I guess, kind of as a grassroots effort. Where we would, be in I guess back then it was a School of Education and Human Development. We'd be in the dean's office, in his conference room that he would lend us every week. Kind of just start these brainstorming sessions about, how do we start up, this group without, so you don't want to step on people's feet. It was very political, and how could we, involve ourselves as university students in the community, and helping support and promote growth in the region. But also, introducing the university, I guess, to the local community from the students' viewpoints, and there were talks of the strained town-gown relationships, and how do we bridge those gaps where there needed to be, I guess, communication between the community and the university. So I guess one of the things that we started out with was really identifying key stakeholders. It was a ton of outreach, figuring out both. The local politicians, statewide politicians, and all the elected officials, university leaders, and community leaders. Who is in charge with local business groups in the region? Both Southern Tier Young Professionals, and I think it was the Downtown Binghamton Business Association. We're just doing a lot of outreach. Not just and also I guess in the outreach, the most important part was really listening to all these stakeholders and getting input from them. And pretty much just starting out by saying, we're here, we want to do something. Not, the other way around, saying, this is what we want to do, and it has to be this way. And I think, that was the first step. A lot of it also had to do with, doing very careful media outreach. I think, one bad press release from the start could have just shut us down right away. And Professor Cruz also put herself on the line. Because the university, they didn't really want professors stepping out there and getting involved with the mayor in terms of economic development and it's something that was a hot topic. It was an issue that was kind of avoided. And I remember, I think that, the first time when I think we knew that CIC had really, put our names on the map was when, the mayor of Binghamton was at a forum with the university's provost. And I remember someone in the panel, someone in the audience got up and, we were sitting in the audience and said, what is the university doing to really get involved in economic development, to really get involved in the region, to show that it wants to, put its foot forward and help, this region grow and help create jobs. And that's when the provost kind of referred to us in the audience and said, well, look here, we got CIC, and we're doing things now, and that's kind of what really helped give us the accreditation. And I think from there, we started going from really just a grassroots effort to becoming a well-organized group that was called on regularly by the university to attend Advocacy Day in Albany and be alongside professors, the heads of university, representing the university and what it has to offer, and showing that the students aren't here just to get educated and leave. We're here to also help promote growth in the region, help promote jobs, and take our ideas and make them into something tangible that could be businesses, small businesses, or ideas that the students have on campus that we could help capitalize on, and use the university as a resource and use the community as a resource as well. So I think that's kind of how CIC evolved, and I think another challenge for us was also when I graduated in 2005 was making sure that this group would last. And it was great having a leader such as Professor Cruz really backing us up the organization. But without the students there, without they're the ones who are on the front lines and their voices, and making sure that there was proper leadership each year beyond just the first batch of us graduating. And we've gotten, I think, very, very lucky with everyone who's kind of stepped up to the plate and who's led this organization, and it's grown. It's in the programs that have been offered, and the fact that it's now part of the university. Is something great to see, and it's great to see you all involved here. So, thank you all.